Okay.
There you go.
And there we go.
My name is Jason Autry.
There you go. Thank you.
I'm talking.
You don't have to talk into
have
it.
to talk into
You don't have to talk into it.
No,
I know, it's awkward. It's awkward. It's there.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just start at the very beginning of when you
Yeah.
first started getting questioned related to the Bobo case?
Well, it started in a series of chain of events. You know, the meetings with the attorneys, and you know.
But this is before attorneys.
Huh?
I'm talking even before attorneys. Do you remember the actual day, the 13th, when she was abducted? Do you remember what you actually did that day?
Well, no, I couldn't tell you what I done that day.
Yeah.
Other than, you know, what the phone records say I done.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to agree to all that.
Yeah.
Of course, by those phone records, I knew where I was that day.
Yeah. When did you first hear of Holly Bobo being abducted?
That day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was sometime through that day I was told, you know.
Yeah. Do you remember how you heard about it? Or how you found
Yeah, I
out?
was at a bar when I was told. And
Dottie's?
No, it was Double D's. I don't know what time it was, though. It was after 12 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told to stay out from that area because they were searching over it.
Mhm.
And I was drinking, you know, and
Yeah.
on the meter and this and that and other, you know. So for my well-being, the lady down here, you just don't go that way.
Yeah. And how close? Because I know she was a second cousin, or
Yeah, she's second cousin to me. I mean, I never went and sat down at the family table or nothing, you know.
yeah,
It was a side of the family that was just half. It was just half with my grandmother. It was just half brother. Was the connection, you know.
Mhm.
It wasn't no blood connection.
So you didn't do like holidays or
No.
anything together?
Mm-mm. You know, my dad, you know, when he was growing up, he didn't do holidays and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
We, you know, once you figured out what Christmas was, it was over. My dad's died.
I heard. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you was fixing to ask his name.
No, I know he passed away recently.
Yeah, he recently died.
Um,
Maybe he's on the better side of life.
so
But see it now you talking about.
she's asking questions. I'm telling her to make sure not to ask leading questions.
You know, I noticed, now this right here, you're talking about during that time, I had a bass boat,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked like everybody in jail come to me wanting to go fishing.
Mm-hmm. I saw your bass boat.
I mean, and well, hell, I take them, you know. I didn't think these some bitches are sent from the police, you know. We got our turn about the second or third time. My slow ass finally catches on, you know. Y'all want to come out here and ask about this shit, you know. Why? So, and of course her dad got to running around there. I just wonder if he's still alive, man. It's
Her dad, Dana?
Yeah, it's 1,000 wonders he's still up, and that he's even still alive. He was pulling up at Shane's house and stuff, you know, and looking around,
Mm-hmm.
and there he is, and there with all them guns, you know, trying to shoot at him when he sees him, you know. I'm gonna shoot that son of a jeepers.
Yeah. So I mean, did Karen and Dana or Clint come and talk to
Karen
you?
and Dana come to my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? I mean, what do you remember of that?
It was early in the morning. I had just got up. I sat there and talked to him. I answered every question he had.
When did it become, like, when did you feel like they were targeting you guys?
Well, knowing I was innocent of it, I never I never really looked at that side of it. I thought, you know, it was just going through a phase, you know, they're
Yeah.
checking felons in there,
Yeah.
you know, shit like that. Because, you know, I've had them pull me over before and want to buy a chainsaw, something police, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I figured it was just something like that, you know.
Yeah.
I never once realized that, you know, people was giving statements and all this other shit, you know.
Mhm.
I don't understand. I don't understand. This is what I do not understand, is the day they walked out there, what put that, my name in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what put my, what, you know,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I still don't know, you know, and I believe this with all my heart. I believe that's who they wanted arrested. I believe those 3 boys is who that Karen and Dana wanted arrested. I believe they was prosecuted under their permission, and I was let go by their permission. I know I was let go by their permission
Yeah.
because the judge asked them, "Are y'all happy with this?" And they said, "Yeah."
What do you think made them want them prosecuted?
I don't know. Just thought, maybe the thought of somebody being, you know, held accountable. That's what my attorney said. He said, somebody's got to pay, Jason. He said, is it going to be you? Hell no, I ain't paying.
Yeah, I mean, Clint
Tell
can't.
me what I do to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Clint.
And it's the same way right here today, you know.
Yeah. Clint can't think it was you guys. I mean, he saw him.
He knows who he saw.
Yeah.
If it wasn't him.
So, okay, so you get.
Who's to say she even disappeared that day? I mean, who says she didn't disappear 3 days before that and the family covered it up for 3 days? I didn't say that. I mean, you know, where's the reality at? You know, I mean, they turned and started blaming 3 people they didn't even have evidence on. They didn't have nothing on.
Yeah.
They have alibis.
Mhm.
They had alibis out there.
They checked out.
Yeah, we get you. We got you here.
Well, I have Shane's bank.
Everybody ain't messed up. You go in jail. Come on, boy.
I have Shane's bank statements that corroborate his alibi with Zach and Dylan. And what sucks, I have the name of the guy, the security guy at the bank. He had offered the video surveillance footage at the ATM to corroborate the exact time he was there for his alibi, and the TBI said they didn't want it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get arrested.
Well, see, I was already incarcerated when I got arrested. I was already in
Oh, I
the federal
forgot that.
system.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I had a firearm charge.
Okay.
I was in the federal system, been in there about a year, and there they go. Dylan told him something, and he was getting sentenced. And, I reckon he kept telling him something, I don't know what he was telling him.
So walk me through your whole, I want to know your whole experience. What happened? How did it get from you being arrested for this to you being on the stand and telling this crazy story?
That's a long ways.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of.
Yeah, we got until 1.
Well, I got there, and the first defense team, Fletcher Long and them, and they got in trouble. Got pulled off the case. Got appointed Mike. Give Mike the opportunity to work with the guy he wanted, you know. And, that's how Flanagan got booted. Because Mike didn't want to work with Flanagan. He had his own pick. So he said, "Yeah, I do that." Okay. So all of this in the beginning was just all routine questions. You know, Jason, what was you at this day? You know, this didn't check out, or this checked out. You know what was going through. And they asked me a question. how you going to settle this or something, you know? And I told him, I said, the rope ain't got tight enough yet, you know, for me, you know. I said, I ain't seen shit, you know, I'm not convinced I done this, you know. Convince me I done it, 'cause I ain't done it yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've looked at all this old bullshit they got, and I can't see nothing that says I've done it. So anyway, time goes on, a year passes, he comes back. He's a new man when he comes back. He's like,
This is Michael Scholl?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's time to get this shit rolling, you know. I said, I agree. Where you been for a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you been for a year, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, what we gonna do here? I said, we're going to trial. He said, you realize this, don't you? And I said, what's that? He said, this is like a child molester case. Everybody's gonna scream, poor baby. And he said, I got you about a 95% chance. You spend the rest of your time right over. I said, Mike, I said, you don't think there's nothing you can do? He said, I think I can talk to them blue in the face. And he said, I don't think they'll listen. He said, once they say your name, people look up your badge jacket, they're all right with you being off the street anyway. So the seed was planted right there. You get where I'm going? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it was, what do you want to do here? We kept on jostling back and forth there for a day.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, he said, we ain't getting nowhere. And I said, well, I didn't know what to say, but, goddamn, what do they want? You know, I need to know what they want. You know, what do they want from me?
Yeah.
I want you to testify. Straight up about it. They need someone to understand. The state needs a mouthpiece. And I said, for mine, I'll go free. He said, I think I can sell that. I said, well, go see what you can do. He was gone for a period of time. He comes back again, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months later. He comes back. He said, you know what we was talking about? And I said, yeah. He said, can you rehearse that story for me today? I said, right now. You know, I got you right now in front of both of y'all, you know, come on. That'll work. That's what he said, you know, when I got done. He said, that'll work. He said, one thing is going to seal it. And I said, what's that? He said, we're going down the river tomorrow. He said, I want you to walk them through everything out. That's right.
So did you tell him a version of the story then at that point?
Yeah.
Was it the same? I mean, what changed over the course
I got the version of the story from him and Clark Chapman.
How did they feed you that?
Well, it was given to me through phone records or, you know, questions and stuff going on. Like, you know, I said one time to him, I said, well, you know, they knew I was over at Shane's house. And I said, well, what if I say all I seen was just a body, you know, laying in the back of the truck? That's not enough to get you out. I said, so I got to see the damn shooting. He said, if you're going to play with them, you might as well go all the way, Jason. So we went all the way.
How did you find out how did you find out she was shot?
The TBI, the day the skull was found, the TBI went down there to Dottie's and announced it. We just found her skull, a bullet hole in the back. 38 caliber bullet, 35, 38 caliber.
Mm-hmm.
I seen the report, and I believe it's one of them. So I knew you right there.
You were incarcerated at the time.
Yeah, I was in River Bend. On
Yeah.
Max.
So how did it get from Dottie's to you?
Telephone, my mama.
Your mom? Yeah.
I mean, the first thing they done, Dottie's, was all them little girls in there run tell, you know,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they found her down there, you know. Big news. You
Yeah.
know. But that's how I found out, yeah. Brent Booth told it to Dottie's.
Okay, so walk me through how the story came to.
The story came, just working a story, you know, when I started that timeline, I started using phone records and IR statements and stuff like that. And when people see you here and hear you there, that gives you credibility to your story.
How did you get the phone records and the IR statements?
They come
They just
to me.
gave them to you?
Yeah.
Like you had them in your cell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had all of it.
Who brought them to you?
My attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in there, ain't there?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you if you plan on looking through it.
I have looked through it. There's a lot.
God almighty.
Mhm.
It's a paper cut.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a whole box of just psychics.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're putting it together.
Yeah, we put the story together in about 3 days. And, you know, and if you get a story, all you do is swear to it. I mean, it's amazingly simple. But, you know, parts of it, you know, I don't know what he was doing in the night, you know, but he'd be like, they blowing my phone, I won't know what you're saying.
Okay, I think the river, that area was flooded at the time.
Was it?
I think it was. I haven't pulled the records yet.
It could be. And I think me and Zach was actually down there at the river at that point.
What were you doing down there?
I think we were down there getting high.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I met him down there at that point. And my phone records had me there, or had me within that area.
Yeah.
And within that area, the only thing I'd have been doing would have been at that bar down there, that water, you know.
Yeah.
But we had to add, so we had to add Holly to that story. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You already had a story, so all you had to do was just add something. You know, and where I first got to, at one point in time, I was about half convinced that Shane and them done it, that I was just a victim of knowing them.
Yeah.
And I thought that for a long time.
I've gone back and forth in going through the records where I went through a phase of thinking that. I don't anymore.
I don't either. But I thought that for a long time, and I set their statements up on my TV, beside my TV, for 18 months before I waited to tell this story to a prosecutor. Waited to. I don't know what I waited on. In my mind, I was waiting on something else, obviously. But it was 18 months went by before. I mean, when I read their stories, I got mad. I got mad because Dylan said some weird shit.
Yeah.
I mean, some weird shit. And I've done a lot of damn crime in my life. I've been so damn wondering if I ever get out of being here. Two things I never done: hurt women and children. And everything else I've victimized, tore it out of hell, stealing it and shooting it, you know, whatever. But and that's what pissed me off so bad when I read that Dylan down there swiring up down, you know, I'm raping her in there in the goddamn house, you know. And I said, you sick, twisted bastard, that's what you thinking, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what drove some of my anger, because I was mad. Mad because every time I'd lay down, I'd have to lay down in bed, but I was having to be ridiculed by inmates every day. You killed her, you son of a bitch, you no good, you goddamn raping, killing, you know, it was every day, you know what I mean? And I guess I acted out with that false story and let them plant the seeds like that. You know, it worked good in me, you know.
You're an engaging witness.
Well, I was trained.
I could tell you were trained. I'm on the
I was
witness stand a
trained,
lot,
yeah.
you know. I was a trained witness.
Yeah. I mean, I was told who to speak to and how much to shut down, when to ask for more or less.
Who was doing the training?
Jennifer Nichols.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the boss of it all.
One thing you screwed up on, you talk about the fence and the gate at Shane's place. That didn't go up until after, it was like a few months after when he got a puppy. So there wasn't a fence and gate at the time of Holly Bobo's disappearance.
Right.
I mean, so
Hell, I mean, I
you did a
don't
pretty
know
good
the time
job.
I tried to see what, you know.
You did a pretty good job. I mean, but
I don't know that, I mean, in my mind, I messed up one time. I don't know that if I would have been his attorney, I don't know if I'd have spent that much time on roads or not. I think I'd have spent more time on bringing up the point that I didn't see nobody or shoot nobody.
yeah,
Because I never confessed to seeing nobody.
yeah.
I said I never seen her.
Mhm.
And I don't know.
Where'd you get the whole? I mean,
Where did I get the idea of putting them together?
putting what together?
Putting Shane, Dylan, and Zach together?
Well, that wasn't what I was going to ask, but answer that.
There was a report from loggers, it was in the area,
Mm-hmm.
that they come by, them three together that morning. And one of the loggers made it look like one of them had been struggling or something. Said, I don't know how you look through the windshield and see somebody's been struggling or not, but I don't know. You know, that's where I got the idea that they were down there close. I mean, I don't approve of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and if they would have done it, I wouldn't be reluctant, you know, to say, lock them up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
My question was going to be, where'd you get the whole thing about Guttner and seeing a body floating by? That just sounded crazy to me.
Too far out, yeah.
That sounded pretty crazy to me.
Well, let's go back some years. And in that same spot, I found a person floating one time.
You actually
you
really
did?
did?
Yeah, I found a person floating, and they were floating belly up.
What'd you
Yeah,
do when you found him?
Huh?
What'd you do when you found
I
him?
called the police.
Yeah. When was that?
I wish I knew the year. It was 7 or 8, 2007, 2008. I was out of prison.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been too long ago.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Drove
So the
up.
least believe, like, that is actually true. Okay.
Yeah, they believed. I mean, they knew the body was decomposed, that I didn't put it there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, one
Yeah.
leg had done been eaten by the animals.
Yeah.
They fished it out, you know. Yeah, I was going down to there and I seen a buzzard leave. Got up there close, got to smell it, and I looked. Yeah, but the stomach is what was stuck up in the air, and that's what the old buzzard was standing on.
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, that's where that come from.
What else in the story, were there any parts of the story that you're most concerned about being?
No, because, I mean, like Jennifer Nichols said, we're going to vet this story, and it's got to be, you know, it's got to be untouchable.
I mean, it wasn't, though.
I mean,
The timing of it, like, wouldn't even work.
I mean, it don't take much to put a man on in prison, does it? I mean,
Apparently not.
I mean, I think that needs a piece of evidence.
Do you think that Karen believed you?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they believe it or not. I've wondered that. But my attorney says it's a good old boy system. You agree?
Mm-hmm. You in a good old boy system?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they said my attorney said that conviction was locked, tight, and sealed, wasn't nobody untied. What he said.
Do you think Jennifer Nichols thinks it was Britt?
I don't think Jennifer Nichols cares.
I agree with
I
that.
think she could care less as long as there ain't nobody on TV hollering out. I bet 3 hours after that trial was over, Jennifer Nichols ain't thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
I bet she ain't spent much time on it. Why would she? I don't know. I mean, it's bad, like I say, that was lower than well shit, what I done, you know, that was bad. Yeah, I'm about to commit suicide over it. I had to go to suicide tank 2 or 3 times over that.
They had you in the suicide tank too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Over telling the story?
Yeah, I tried to commit suicide for Ben a couple times.
How'd you try?
Hanging.
Holy shit.
They come in and cut me down one time.
Holy shit. Before or after you testified?
After I testified, yeah. It fucked me bad after
I mean-
testified. Man, I thought I had it bad before I testified. Shit. You won't catch old Jason doing that no more.
Well, I mean, that's what
You won't never catch me on the witness stand. I don't give a damn if it's to save 10 children's life. I ain't getting up there.
Mhm.
That's the worst I've ever felt in my life, coming back, knowing that you just lied and put an innocent man in prison.
What was that like seeing Zach sitting there?
You want the truth? I never made eye contact with him.
You know what? I watched that in the trial to see if you ever made eye contact.
I never made eye contact with him. Plus, his attorney was right there in my face the whole time. Won't know about the damn road.
Mm-hmm.
Whispering. And the judge sitting there, you can't supposed to be up there whispering.
Yeah.
How did you come to be part of that group?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Zach, me and his daddy, I used to buy drugs from Zach's daddy. And that's how I met Zach when he was a younger boy. Dylan, he was just drugged around by Zach, you know. He was kind of Shane was a cousin. So.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on Shane?
I never really liked Shane too much.
Yeah.
I mean, I always believed that he was capable of something like that.
Really?
Yeah. Because of maybe the lack of attention growing up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I could see him doing it.
What about Zach?
No, not really.
Yeah. I didn't get that
Not really.
sense
No.
from him.
I don't know about Dylan and Shane, though. I don't think Dylan. I don't know. I mean, they say he's stupid, but I carried him out on the river. And he didn't act just. I mean, he had enough sense to make it back anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. Both of them boys is just like me, fucked up on the road. Just hanging out doing the wrong shit, I don't know.
Do you think about it? Like, do you still think about it with Zach? Do you think?
Yeah, I do. I think about Zach a lot.
What do you think?
I wonder if this is going to work.
If what's going to work?
This. And I'm interested in seeing his release.
You are?
Yeah, I am dedicated to it. And I put that dedication together since I talked to you on the phone. I wasn't even, when I talked to you, I didn't really even think. I actually told myself I'll deny her a visit when she comes.
Yeah.
But I got to thinking about it the other night, letting her in the rack, and I think it's the right thing to do. I really do. And it doesn't matter to me now whether I come out of this any better or any worse. I still want to see what's right in that. You see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
And if that helps me sleep better than that, so it. I got myself in this shit. I know how to get out. I knew not to have a deer rifle. Come on. You know what I mean? I was guilty of the gun they caught me with out there at Skies. Now, is there some confidence? Is there some little straw that might break the camel's back? Maybe. But what are you thinking right now? What are you thinking? Do you think that I'm playing some old poor, pitiful me story, or am I on the side of reality?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think the system was against you, and you didn't have an option, and then you basically put in a situation where you're the villain and the scapegoat.
Look here, Mike appeared up on a Zoom meeting like this to me a few days before I got out, right? He said, Train, it's on to tell you something. They called me Train. He said, Train, I'm gonna tell you something. He said, you asked if I can go home a day or two, right? He said, I like you, man. He said, be careful when you're around these gas stations and bars and stuff like that. He said, anybody liable to pull that old gun and shoot you, right? And he said, be prepared to protect yourself out there. So
Well, that's it. It's like, what is even the freedom you're getting? Because they put you in a situation to be this horrible person.
As soon as I got out of prison, a mile down the road, this person hands me a gun. Here, I bought this for you. God, right there. I instantly stick it in my pocket because I've done it all my life, And I ride still. I traded for that deer rifle at Skies. And I decide I don't need it, and I don't need one. And once I decide I don't need the damn pistol, should have got rid of it. I traded for a deer rifle. Got high, I want to go deer hunting.
Will you, the whole gun thing?
Yeah.
Will you clarify that? How did that gun, that Victor Dinsmore?
So, there was a gun at one point that Shane had. It was a .357 at a Spirko restaurant on the end of it.
Wait, is that the longer one?
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad showed me that.
Yeah. He had it out showing it around, and so that's the last gun, I seen the last one I thought they had.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one I told Dinsmore. Dinsmore bought that gun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether they went back and got it back or not, I don't know, but the gun they found, and that gun's not the same gun.
Yeah.
One's a 32, the other's a 38,
Yeah.
357. Yeah. But I told them that the gun was traded to Dinsmore's. So Dinsmore's wife, I reckon, the way I understand it, one found it.
Yeah.
Or told the police where it was or something.
Yeah. But that was, I'm trying to remember, the gun you testified about, were you testifying about that, was it that little, it was that little handgun?
Yeah, that was the one that had to be it.
Because that's the one that Dinsmore found?
That's the one they had, yeah. That matched what Dinsmore said. Hey, Jason, you made a mistake, sent the wrong gun. You're right.
Okay. And so that, you're basically saying that was Shane's gun?
That one wasn't.
Yeah.
The one they found was, I don't know whose gun that was.
Yeah.
Shane's gun is the one I'm sure Jimmy still has.
Yeah, this is the one he showed me. It's like a long barrel and...
Black handle.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything else in the story that would be potentially helpful for me to look into, to...
I don't know. I really don't. I really don't know. I don't know, see, I don't know who all was called. You might talk to Angela. She's out of prison now.
Okay.
She probably can be a little bit more precise on what times that she was working the car. I ain't even too for sure she wasn't. I ain't even too for sure she was working. She testified, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. And Rebecca Earp did too.
Yeah.
How much of the story did you come up with on your own from the IRs?
Well, I never really just developed a whole lot of it on my own. I had help, you know. I had help getting the story together.
Who was helping and how did they help?
Well, Clark Chapman helped me. Mike Show helped me. Robert, he never did. Robert never did do much.
Mm-hmm.
He never did know much. He just, I don't know why he was there. But, so what was the question?
How did they help?
How did they help? Well, you give you information. You know, they're privileged to a lot more information than we are, ain't they? So they know privileged information that we don't have, and they share it.
So how does that go? I mean, I can't put myself in a situation where I'm trying to get somebody to admit to something they didn't do. How it just seems shameful. Like, how do they do that?
Well, it's very shameful. Very hard, I believe. You know, I don't know that there's a textbook story to it. I mean, I don't know that there's an answer to that. How can you do that other than you being a large amount of situations, you know, that force you to be there?
No, I guess because I'm not asking rhetorically. I mean, like, how did that work? Like, you met with it, like, practically speaking, how did the story develop?
Well, trying to get out of prison. Thank you.
Well, I understand how getting out of prison, but I mean, like, you met with them. How did it go? Like, the back and forth. You had some initial story, and then they tell you no or yet. Like, how do they?
Well, when we started, you know, they said, "Did you see Jack that day?" And I said, "Yeah, I believe I did."
Mm-hmm.
What'd y'all do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you tell them, "Hell, you done here, and then you done this, and you done that." That's your story for that line, because that's not going to change. And you just add to that I guess it's just layer upon layer of stuff.
Like, do you remember what the initial story was?
No, there never was no initial story. I mean, like, and he would call and change it or nothing like that. It wasn't nothing like that. It was more of him talking to me, and then whatever he done when he left, you know, the next day when he come back, well, that'd be good or that'd be bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they're vetting every story you give them, so you can't lie and say, well, I was here at this, if you know you wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to maintain some point of truth. And when you got public and the TV hollering, these guys done this to Holly Bobo, they've already added the story. The news know the story just well, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was about cheer. I thought he won't quit.
Were they, and I think when he was bringing the paperwork for you to go through, how that, just a lot of it. Did he just sift through and find the ones that he thought was relevant, or?
Well, I went through it so much, I began to know it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the statements, hell, I already know what that would say, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really, you can and you can't really get a story from that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it worked good for turning me against the others. It done good at that.
Were they saying that, what were they saying that Zach was saying? Were they telling you Zach was saying stuff about you?
Zach had, what was it, 5, 7 field reports?
Yeah, but they all said the same thing. They were all his consistent story.
Were they?
Yeah. He was with Shane and Dylan getting Xanax bars and getting fucked up. He went Sonic.
They proved all that, didn't
Yeah, I mean, I have the bank statements.
they? Yeah.
And he apparently went to Joe's video where Rebecca Earp was working and was all fucked up on his Xanax, and he took like 4 or 5 bars and like headbutted her. And someone called the cops, but no one responded because everyone was looking for Holly Bobo. So I'm trying to find that call because I'm sure that's logged.
Yeah.
Because depending on what time that was, that might be helpful. So I'm trying to track that down.
911 ought to have that.
Yeah, they'll have to have it.
Yeah, especially if you subpoena it.
Yeah. Oh, we'll subpoena it.
Wonder why she didn't do that the day of the trial. Look, that'd have been a perfect day for that, doesn't it?
Yep.
And something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the back road.
How'd you think it was going to go? Do you think?
I had already been asked every question she could dream of asking.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 4 of them at one time asking me questions in a room. 2 attorneys and 2 prosecutors, just fast as they can go, boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So.
And how would they, like, how would they be telling you how to answer the questions? How?
Well, once you got trained to your court tongue, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
you know, your answer is short and sweet, to the point, that's it. You know, look at the jury.
Where did you get if your records reflect that?
That come off, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah, because, I mean, you can't argue it, can you? Why would you?
Yep.
I mean, that's a losing argument.
You're not an idiot. I think is there anything else that you think would be helpful anything else that you wanted?
I don't know. I just hope that you have the ability and the want to get to the end of this, because just like I told you a while ago, I set my mind to it, man. I may even tack it a little bit in the media. I can do that.
Yeah. I mean, anything you want to say to your son, I can get him a video. I don't know what your relationship with him is.
Nah, I'm gonna let that.
Yeah.
Just let that ride on.
Mm-hmm.
His old dad's gonna be out of the picture for a while. Maybe it's best. We had a bad time the last time we was together. Yeah. So he's a mama's boy. I'm a man's man. We just don't. He and I just don't. Me and my dad, when I was a boy, my dad probably a little harder on me than I was him. I don't know. I love Jay, but sometimes it's at a distance, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and tell you what made me mad. We got to drinking, and he got to whoop on his sister. When he got to drinking, he had her bent over the stove, and I said, "Yeah, it's your turn over the stove, boy." You know what I mean? He didn't like his turn over the stove, so told him a little fit and run off.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, "I'm still the boss. I may be old and gray, but I still got it." Dad still.
Turn off?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, we're back on.
You're gonna talk to him himself?
I'm gonna go up there.
Hell yeah.
He's in Thompson Federal Penitentiary. I'm gonna go see him. I don't know if he'll talk to me, but he probably will. Tell me everything that will be helpful. So you knew him?
Yeah, so I was at O'Bien with him in 2012. He was facing a gun charge, and I was facing a gun charge, and had it sealed up. As time went by, he's a sex offender. And I used to be affiliated, and he wanted to know how that was going to matter. And I told him, I said, "I'm not no longer in it." In 2009, I got out. I said, when you get down the road, you're probably going to have problems. He's laying there talking, we talked a lot. And he told me about a 38 special that he throwed in Black Bottom. I don't know, Black Bottom is in Lexington, Tennessee. It's off the side of Redbud Lake.
When was this?
This was in 2012, I believe.
Okay, so this could have been the gun that he used.
Could have been, yeah, very possible.
Holy shit. That's relevant.
And he said it, I never did know where this guy lived, but I assume he lives in an old house.
He lives in a trailer.
He has a kitchen, and he says this ghost comes to visit him in his kitchen. And
his wife said he's talking to people,
Yeah.
talking to somebody that wasn't there.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, he's seeing this little old girl, whoever this is. This is a young girl, whoever he's seeing. I don't know who it is.
Wait, he's seeing a young girl?
That's
Yeah.
the ghost?
That's
it's
the
the ghost
ghost.
of a young girl?
Yeah, it's the ghost of the young girl. Yeah.
Huh.
So that's all the things he ever said to me.
He said it was a ghost of a young girl.
It was a ghost of a young girl coming to his kitchen and rattling the pots and pans he'd get up and go in there and look, and it'd be a little girl, and he'd go toward her and she'd vanish.
Did he ever talk about any of his...
No, he never had sexual desires because he knew I had these boats on
Yeah.
there. So he was really in there on protection.
Anything else that would be helpful for me to ask him, or
I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing that I ever heard him say confidential, and I wasn't looking for him as a criminal or anything.
Yeah.
And, that stood out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have ghosts appearing to me. I mean, that may be
Yeah.
good to some people, but
How did the 38 special come up?
Talking about guns, he was talking about what he was charged with. And they charged him with a gun he didn't have, is what he said. And that's, especially, I reckon that's what he was on a gun charge with a gun. Somebody seen the gun or something, I don't know.
Mhm.
That was the gun, 38 special pistol.
And he said he threw it in Black Bottom.
Black Bottom off Red Bud Lake.
Red Bud.
Yeah.
Well, happy holidays, 'cause I won't be here when you come back.
That's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to, I'm scared to.
Are you sure you're done this time?
I don't know, unless he drops some other bombs in the elbow.
I don't know, am I
Anything
gonna put
else?
this away and
Yeah.
drop another bomb on me?
Anything else you wanna,
I mean, I didn't
any
know.
other secrets you wanna?
Do you think Terry Britt did it?
Yeah, looking at the reports, yeah. Once the cadaver dog hit on it, seeing all the tools that he had in the back of the van, yeah, I'm pretty confident that. I didn't know he was in the area then. I didn't know nothing about the case.
I think if you saw his testimony.
And then, whenever somebody mentioned it, I just put my ears on, didn't hear it. I didn't want to hear the shit,
Mm-hmm.
But he never laid in the jail cell and confessed it.
Yeah.
You
I didn't think he would.
know? I mean, I wish he would have.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would
Would make
have.
things a lot easier.
Hell yeah.
Anybody think that? Yeah.